Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and the Life of Captain Marvel, issue number 4 of 5, the penultimate issue. All right, so only one more of these guys to go, and I have a feeling I know how it's going to end, but I also have a feeling I'm going to be surprised. So I know it sounds kind of like an oxymoron, but no, no, I think I'm going to be surprised at the expected ending. All right, still, nonetheless, I'm looking forward to it. All right, Part 4, Challenged. Writer, Margaret Stohl. Pencils for the present day, Carlos Pacheco. Inks for the present day works, Rafael Fonteres. Pencils and inks for all the flashback scenes, Erica D'Urso. And colors for present and flashback, Marcio Menez. The letters are done by VC's Clayton Cowles. Cover artist is Julian Totino Tedesco. Oh man, I can't wait to get into the beauty of this cover. And variant cover artists, there were 2 different variant covers apparently, Jen Partel and Sujin Zhou. So the Kree Cleaner design was by Joshua James Shaw. That's the bad guy, the villain basically, who's coming after them. And logo, Jay Bowen. I think that he was also credited on Thor, the new Thor logo. And was it also Mr. Missile? I can't remember what else, but he's credited on a couple of things, man. Digging it. Also, I like that special thanks to Axel Alonso and Stephen Wacker. I don't actually know who Stephen Wacker is. Somebody in the comments, if you would, if I don't look it up myself first. But Axel Alonso, obviously the previous editor-in-chief before C.B. Cebulski was promoted to the role. So I'm digging it, man. But yeah, you know, I liked all these issues. I liked the first 3 issues a lot. I'm on the record of that. But I'm also on the record for the previous volume that was written, the Captain Marvel volume that was written by the same writer, author Margaret Stohl. I'm on the record of 3 times falling off that series because I just couldn't handle it. I just didn't like it, you know. And my biggest thing was, it is written as a novel, but I'm not reading a novel, I'm reading a comic book, and she has to get more used to the idea of writing as a comic book. Oh, she's going to run into a couple of hiccups in this issue, and in all these issues, she's run into a couple of hiccups, but she's still doing such an amazing job. What an incredible turnaround that she's done. For now, this history, all right, the history of this particular mari-ell character, that's Carol's mama. Dude, Margaret Stohl has the Kree down, all right? She understands the Kree. Does she know all of their history? No, she might not. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know if she knows that it's actually the Kree who started the Kree Skrull War. I don't know if she knows the genocidal nature of the Kree, but she gets that they are warriors first and foremost, and that they are relentless, dude, she gets it. So while she may not be a historian of the Kree, she's a psychologist of the Kree. You get what I'm saying? So it fits. Like, she's such a good fit for writing this Kree backstory. This comic book is written so solidly, I'm really kind of hoping that this does have, as it was suggested, that maybe, hopefully, this does have some weight on what we're going to see in the Captain Marvel movie. Because, oh my God, this is so good. So, again, the history of mari-ell, amazing. Excuse me. The art in this, of course, is gorgeous, but just the idea that she went above and beyond to try and be the best, knowing that the rewards for being the best were just going to be harder challenges, And in the end, she gets sent on a mission. The interesting thing is we don't find out what the mission is. She gets sent on a mission to Earth. We don't actually know what the mission is. Obviously something to advance the Kree Empire, has something to do with war. Maybe it's to infiltrate the Skrull. We don't know. They don't say it. And that's something that I wonder if enough people actually picked up on. I'm hoping that Margaret Stohl picked up on it also, because I'm worried that it might go unaddressed. I'm hoping the next issue we learn why, and I hope that that's a big deal. What I'd actually even more prefer is that it's a last-minute suggestion. Not a last-minute suggestion, but what I'm saying is that by the end of the next issue, that's when suddenly, when everything in this story arc is resolved, that's when suddenly it's addressed. Listen, you still don't know why I was sent to this planet, why I was sent to Earth. And then that becomes the next story arc that Margaret Stohl is going to write, because I don't want her going anywhere. Oh my God. I'm going to get into a couple of the hiccups that I suggested earlier, but for now, oh my God, this is where her novelist voice really comes into play. I'm going to read this one part for you. This is the leader, the current leader, the immediate leader of Mari-ell. That's Carol's mom. I can't remember her name. It's on here someplace. But she says, 1,000 years of war, and still the drums echo. Our people cannot endure more. We must smother 1,000 new threats in the cradles of our enemies, across the empire and beyond. We must invest in 1,000 new weapons. And it continues, a little bit more onto that. But like, this speech is so epic. I know that a lot of times in America, we discuss the idea of, we're coming to a fascist state. Coming to, sure, but suggesting that certain things are fascist. We are not fascist. All right, America is not a fascist nation. Oh, there are tons of preludes to fascism in the rhetoric and the speech that's being spoken quite often. But this right here, this is fascism personified. Okay, this is the point where saying things like the things that are said oftentimes in the States now is something where it's like, ooh, that's edgy. You know what I'm saying? But this is stuff where it's not even propaganda at this point. It's, if you didn't say this, if I'm the one who said it and you didn't say it first, maybe you're a traitor. How loyal are you? Like that. And that's what I'm seeing here. And oh my God, this is a really accurate depiction of fascism, to a historian. Holy crap, this is good. So yeah, I'm loving this, man. Now let me show you a hiccup, because it's on the very next page. It's this page right here, okay? So there are a couple things that are said here. I'll explain, I promise, but right now we need to move. That thing's a Kree cleaner, and it's here for me. But if you're a Kree soldier, then I'm, yeah, she's got questions. She's got questions, and it's so reasonable for her to have these questions. I'd be pissed if she didn't have these questions. You're right, Mom, let's just go and kick some butt. No, I'd be like, okay, listen, we can kick some booty, and I'm not taking my eyes off the enemy, but you got some splaining to do while we're kicking some booty. What the frick is going on, Mom? I'd be wanting some questions. But you are car-ell, daughter of mari-ell, Captain First of the Supreme Protectorate, champion of the Kree Empire, daughter of Hala by blood right and by starlight. Oh God, that just sounds so freaking awesome! And it's just a repeat of what happened earlier, just like, a page or two prior. Oh my God, this just sounds great. Now here's where the problem comes in, and I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying, see if you agree with me, okay? Immediately afterwards, she says, Ma, stop it. This is crazy. You just made me pancakes. It works. And then down here, traitor, come for me. So I just read you the whole page. Let's see. That works in a novel. See, in a novel, it's not visual. A novel it's fictitious. We know by definition, a novel is a fictitious work, of literature. We're reading it and we're imagining the characters' faces. We're imagining their positioning, where they're standing, based on the detail that's given to us. Too much, it gets tedious. Too little, we're like, But just right, we can see where these people are standing, what they're doing, all that good stuff. And oh my God, it's just awesome, right? This would work in a novel. In the comic book, this also works, but not in a single splash page. What I would do is I would have this scene, but I would rotate it this way so that we see less of her face, more of her face. Okay? And then split panel. And all of this, ignore this stuff, this could happen to whatever. All of this, for the most part, happens up here. But then this bottom panel, all right, the bottom panel down here is just this scene, just her face there and saying these words. But you just made me pancakes, because yes, in reality, in a novel, you can read all this stuff and your you're putting facial expressions and all this stuff together. But right now, all we have is the same facial expression the entire time that we're reading all of this, and the position that they're standing in and everything. And we don't get the sense of movement. We don't get the sense of the agitation of, we don't get that with a single splash page like that. And we don't need it in a book because we are putting that in. We're substituting that in our brains because of the descriptions. But in a comic book, you have to have, in my opinion, if they would have had a split panel on that page and just everything stayed the same, except make it into a split panel, I think that would have actually been a whole lot better. And that would have really given us the gravitas of what's happening. I think that would have made it better because then it shows that there is... it's not just the same disposition the entire time. All right. That I think would have made it a lot better. But, oh God, everything about this dude, such an incredible comic book. So there's a beatdown over here and the Creed cleaner goes away. The boy is the son. He's kind of ignored in this, which I get a little bit. Sorry, I got to comment on how gorgeous Mama Danvers' face is. Just look, she actually looks like she's older and she looks like she's weathered. I mean, she's got that puffier face, like the bones have gotten a little bit more dense. The face, it's not quite so much facial muscles anymore. It's just the idea of, hey, it's starting to sag a little. Gravity's starting to, suddenly remember, hey, that face is mine, man. She looks like a mom. She looks like a mom. And you got to give credit where credit's due, man. The artists, dude. Fantastic in this. I like that cheap shots aren't taken. Like for instance, you could just have, the sexy butt scene and whatnot, but why? Why take away from the story by having that? You know what I'm saying? It's like is this way you're not focusing on it. You're focused more on what's being said because that's what's really important. So the art is more focused on showing the position, showing where they're walking, how they're interacting with each other, so that the words weigh more heavily on us. Just absolutely fantastic. And you got to give credit where credit's due for the colors too. Like, look, looks old, looks older, looks like, and just her the position of her hand on her face and everything. It's like she's passing something on to her. Here, it's just knowledge, but this is beautiful. Now, I know that the kid, it's like they're ignoring the brother who's, handicapped at this point. Hopefully not for long. Hopefully he'll get back on his feet again. But like I myself, I'd be in a heartbeat. I'd be like, hold on. So am I going to get powers too? Because, hey, this completely radically changes Car-ell's origin, which is fine because the origin was barely ever touched on to begin with. All right. It was... we never really knew that much about her parents before. Just when push comes to shove, we really didn't know that damn much. And it was usually through words as opposed to them actually visiting the parents. It was mostly just talk. Excuse me. So clearly, there would be things going on that Car-ell didn't know about. And it comes back to bear in this, especially in this issue. I think that this, a lot of things happen here. Case in point, the two different potential battles that we have. We have one major battle and one prelude to a battle, like a tease of a battle. And it's almost like if you don't mind, an Eddie Van Halen song, a Van Halen song. Eddie Van Halen always does the two guitar solos. All right, there's the short one in the the middle of the song, and then that's just the prelude because all of a sudden he's gonna just rip, he's gonna shred it afterwards, just start doing the hammer-on technique and all that, the finger picking, like it's gonna be insanity afterwards. This was kind of in reverse because we had the crazy battle in the beginning that's kind of like, holy crap, and now we've got the tease for the major battle in the next one at the end of the issue. So I feel like the next issue could just be the guitar solo straight through. And I hope it's not. I hope that we get a lot more story, of course, but still, man, like the setup is just, it's excellent. It's excellent. So this is not a very physically combat heavy issue. That's not what, you're not going to get a lot of action packed into this issue. I'm okay with that. I've always been a stickler for story. I can imagine the combat. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yeah, of course, we had some combat, but whatevs. I feel that this issue set up so much and gave us so much. It wasn't even just the setup. Like, it gave us so much and yet still set up more for the next issue. Holy crap, dude. First off, just, I'm gonna like salivate over this cover a little bit. Just, you know, oh, you're gorgeous, man. And if I had an opportunity, I'm simply gonna say, you look at this next cover. Oh my God. Oh my God. It looks like it's saying 100 in reverse right there. Yeah, because it is 100% awesome. This is a sexy freaking comic book cover, man. You know, a lot of times we like to get issue number 1 signed by everybody who's on the book. I think I might go for issue number 5 to get that else, because like that is an amazing cover. Holy crap, that is beautiful. But what I will say is, I've said I really liked, to the point of loved, the first 3 issues of this comic book, of this title. But this 5-issue limited series, this limited series, with the advent of this issue, without even seeing, I've got it. I can't make my final decision until the next issue comes out, the final issue. Once I've read that, then and maybe had some time to process it, I don't know if I'm going to be able to compare it to anything else right now. But for now, I will say, because there's going to be a lot of people who don't like this because, you know, oh my God, and, you know, her father was made to look weak. Her father wasn't made to look weak in the slightest bit. This is typical, and it's typical in boys, girls too, but like it's typical in boys and girls, realistically. I took a year of psych. You know what I'm saying? I dropped it for sociology instead. It served me better in life. But the point is, you know, you see this in kids especially, but you see this all over the place in young people. The idea of, no, I can take it. You know what I'm saying? Here's this guy who's telling his superpowered wife, oh yeah, I'm going to protect you from the Kree Empire. The Large Magellanic Cloud. Here's this big, like this is known as Kree space. The effing Badoon don't want to mess with Kree space, right? And these guys are just like, yep, we're the Kree, F your mother. And we will if we choose to, because what are you going to do about it? Like, that's the freaking Kree. And this guy's talking about, like, these guys who are, like, your average citizen is as tough as Captain America. All right, not as good a fighter, but easily as hard, as seasoned as him. Talking about, yeah, I'm going to protect you from an intergalactic empire of super beings. I remember when I was a kid and I used to say stupid things like that. Here's these 2 teenagers. I'm 14 years old. I've been studying the martial arts for 6 going on 7 years now. And I was always a pretty big guy. But here's, you know, like I'm 14 and here's some 18-year-olds, 2 of them. I think I'm going to take them on. I was so cute. I was like a button. But yeah, that happens with everybody, guys and girls. But yeah, in this particular case, mostly guys. So yeah, I could see him turning to drinking. I could see him because he had this ideal about him that I've got to protect my woman. But that's not what the world is. That's not what the world is. And it's funny, if he didn't turn to the bottle, he would have been a lot better. I also liked what the explanation was for his cheating, because they took that evil aspect away from him and made him a human being again. Yeah, he's of course got problems and it is what it is. And of course, yes, Captain Marvel has always been, Carol Danvers has always been about, I'm never going to play second fiddle to anyone. I'm nobody's sidekick. Like that's how she's always been. So I love the idea that she did say at one point, you let him talk to you like that? Calm down, young woman, because you are a young woman. And she was pretty young at the time also, and it was a different era. And even though she's a Kree, it is a different era. So yeah, I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? I can fully understand that. I can understand the aspect of all of the characters involved in this, every single one of them. Even me, I feel like I'm the little kid in the chair talking about, wait a second, so because dad screwed somebody else to have me, I don't get powers? Come on! I always wished you were my real mom. Like, that's me. Can we do a blood transfusion? What would happen if there's some blood transfusion action going? Do you need, what if my liver ruptured? Could I have a piece of your liver? And then like it would grow and then all of a sudden I got the DNA too? Like, is that how it works? Because I'm down. I'm down. I'll rupture my own liver for the opportunity. Like, dude, come on. I want super duper Kree powers like that, you know? This was a solid comic book. And yeah, despite any naysayers who might come along with this issue, though I haven't read the final issue yet, I think that I would be willing to put this up right now against a lot of the stories that came out, in the past several decades. Yeah, that includes stuff from like the 80s and whatnot. Hey, Kitty Pryde Wolverine was awesome. You know what I'm saying? But come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a story that never went anywhere. I would put this up against the Iceman limited series. I'd put this against the Beast limited series. Remember Beauty and the Beast? You know what I'm saying? Was this as good? I would say this is on par with the Vision and Scarlet Witch story. Like, this is solid, man. I would put this comic series, this limited series, against any other limited series for the most part. It'll probably triumph over most of them. You know what I'm saying? Does anybody remember the New Universe? Like, how many things were actually successful in that? So yeah, I loved this comic book. This was a solid, hard-hitting comic book, takes no prisoners, and if you're not ready for it, guard your grill because, pow, you just got hit in the jaw. This was a solid comic. I loved it. All right, guys. Seriously waiting for the next issue. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.